China has smashed its record for incursions into Taiwan's air defense zone with a previously unmatched 4-day spree. Here's what you need to know. Taiwan's Ministry of National Defense has reported a record 149 Chinese incursions into its air defense zone over 4 days. The single-day record of 56 entries occurred on Monday, with 34 J-16 twinjet multirole fighters, 4 Su-30 twin-engine supermaneuverable fighters, 2 Y-8 anti-submarine planes, 2 KJ-500 airborne early warning and control planes, and 12 H-6 twin-engine bombers flying within Taiwan's southwest air defense zone in the daytime, and a further 4 J-16s doing the same on Monday night. The spike in incursions began Friday daytime with 18 J-16 twinjet multirole fighters, 4 Su-30 twin-engine supermaneuverable fighters, 2 H-6 twin-engine bombers, and 1 Y-8 anti-submarine plane entering Taiwan's southwest air defense zone. A separate round of flights occurred on Friday night, involving 10 J-16s, 2 H-6s, and 1 KJ-500 airborne early warning and control plane, which took the total to 38, a record timed to coincide with celebrations of China's National Day. Taiwan's scrambled jets issued radio warnings and deployed air defense missile systems to monitor the activity, according to its Ministry of National Defense. However, the following day, the incursions increased again to 39 in total. In the daytime on Saturday, the ministry said 20 planes made incursions, including 14 J-16s, 4 Su-30s, and 2 Y-8 anti-submarine planes. On Saturday night, a further 19 incursions took place, involving 12 J-16s, 6 Su-30s, and 1 KJ-500 airborne early warning and control plane. Sunday saw a slight reduction in numbers, with just 19 incursions. However, at the time, CNN noted the PLA Air Force flights were consistently going close to Pratas Island, which actually sits closer to Hong Kong than Taiwan. With no permanent residents, China could take control of the Pratas Islands whenever Chinese President Xi Jinping decides, said Yoshiyuki Ogasawara, professor of foreign studies at Tokyo University, cited by The Diplomat in December. The islands are a potential flashpoint that now need to come to the attention of the US, Japan, and other democratic countries, he added. Geopolitically speaking, although in this instance the uptick in incursions has been widely linked to China's National Day, there are also several other recent developments which may have built up to this show of force. In August, Taiwan announced it would increase its military spending to around $16.9 billion for the year, starting in January, according to CNN, up from this year's budget of $16.2 billion. And that number includes spending $1.4 billion on new fighter jets, likely referring to F-16s. A U.S. Navy aircraft carrier strike group and destroyer operating the South China Sea last month was also seen by China as another notable provocation, coming days after the Chinese government introduced a law requiring foreign vessels to give notice before entering waters it claims as its own. In September, guided missile destroyer USS Benfold traveled within 12 nautical miles of Mischief Reef in the Spratly Islands, according to a U.S. Navy press release, and the USS Carl Vinson, along with its strike group, trained in the same region. According to Stars and Stripes, at the time, the USS Carl Vinson carried F-35C Lightning II stealth fighters and CMV-22B Osprey tilt-rotor aircraft, and a spokesperson said it held maritime strike exercises and coordinated training between surface and air units. Chinese state mouthpiece, the Global Times, said China had responded to the USS Benfold by conducting whole process tracking and monitoring to warn it off, utilizing the naval and aerial forces of the Chinese People's Liberation Army. However, notably, a statement from a PLA spokesperson added that the U.S.'s activity was proof the U.S. is the biggest risk and peacebreaker for the stability and peace in the region, according to the Global Times. And then came the big one. A week after that PLA statement, the UK, US, and Australia announced the AUKUS security pact aimed at confronting China, a deal which involved providing Australia with the technology to build nuclear-powered submarines for the first time, according to the BBC. Australia says it will abide by the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty in not pursuing nuclear weapons, but the move could still indirectly spur proliferation of nuclear weapons, and that risk has been taken to allow Australia's currently diesel-powered navy to match China's technologically, according to CNN. Alongside any military advantages the pact might have, there is a clear symbolic element to the technology transfer, with one U.S. official explaining to CNN that allowing Australia to be only the 6th country in the world to own nuclear submarines is frankly an exception to our policy in many respects. The pact, which also covers artificial intelligence, quantum technologies, and cyber warfare, is designed as a response to China's military buildup in the Indo-Pacific, according to the BBC, and there is no chance that China doesn't know that, which is how we arrive at this weekend's record number of incursions. In June, the previous record number of Chinese air incursions into Taiwan's air defense identification zone was widely seen as a response to a G7 communique made the week before, which emphasized the importance of peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait and encouraged the peaceful resolution of cross-strait issues. Back then, 28 Chinese military aircraft entered Taiwan's ADIZ, with 3 groups of aircraft flying all the way to the southeastern side of Taiwan. A maneuver Newsweek suggests could have been rehearsing cutting off Taiwan from U.S. support in the event of an invasion. 3 additional groups of aircraft flew in the airspace between Taiwan and the Taiwan-controlled Dongsha Islands to take what was then the record since Taiwan began publicly noting these Chinese incursions. CNN reports that the U.S. Air Force is sending an unusually large force of F-22 stealth fighters to the Western Pacific this month. Approximately 25 F-22s will be joined by 10 F-15 fighters and support planes, as part of an exercise that is meant to send a strong message to China amid growing tensions about China's actions around Taiwan and in the South China Sea. The exercise is designed to spread U.S. combat planes out among airfields across the region to increase their chances of surviving enemy missile strikes. Much of the U.S.'s air power in the Western Pacific is concentrated in 2 large military installations on Okinawa and Guam. A strike on those bases could cripple the U.S. military's ability to hit back if too much U.S. air power was concentrated there. The new exercise will see crews practicing from smaller, less developed airfields on Guam and islands like Tinian. The new strategy would increase the number of targets enemy missiles would need to destroy and give U.S. air power a better chance of being able to fight back.
For more news animations and explainers, hit the subscribe and bell button to join the TomoNews family. Thanks for watching.